Ah, come on, Lego, why are you reusing video topics? This is pretty much 1 year later with a different dress. And yes, I know that's technically the case. This really is just another one of these, oh, look at where this guy was drafted, and now a few years later we're talking about him again, type of videos. But this is different from 1 year later. It's not 2020, it's 2023. This is technically 4 years later, and because that tagline isn't really all too catchy, I titled and labeled the video in the way that we did. Let's talk today about a player in retrospect. Go over some of the opinions that were shared by people in the hockey world about this guy 4 years ago when he was drafted in 2019 versus what we're talking about today. In particular, we're actually using the player himself to help us out, because when it comes to Montreal Canadiens star forward Cole Caufield, I wanted to bring up this little scouting report that made the rounds all over Habs social media a few days ago. Now, just for context here, Cole Caufield is now 22 years old. A lot of the stuff we're talking about from 2019 is from when he was 17, 18 years old. Of course, you know how the draft works, right? He's 22 now, 5'7", 174, still right-handed guy, signed till the end of 2031, making $7.85 million a year. Honestly, a contract that is pretty good for the talent that he has. It's just, I'm kind of surprised still that the Canadiens shelled out a bunch of money to a guy whose sample size has not been the biggest, but still, we know how good he is. We know how good he can be. He got 26 goals in 46 games played last year and 36 total points as well. Cole Caufield, once he plays a full season, will finally get to see that sample size and actually see what he's able to do under a full year of Martin St. Louis. I'm excited. Are you excited? You probably are excited. Everybody's excited about this guy. We talked about him every single weekend when he was a prospect with Wisconsin, but either way, what I wanted to go over and focus on was a quote or two made by Caufield back in 2019. Here's the post made by GoHabsGo31 on the RHab sub. These quotes by an 18-year-old Cole Caufield right before the 2019 draft are just so ballsy in the best way possible. The kid has always been a confident elite sniper. Now, of course, this is a pretty good read. I assume it's from The Athletic, but this is what Cole Caufield said back in 2019 about himself. My shot is quick. My release is very quick, and it fools goalies at times. I also think it's very accurate. I can put pucks in places that nobody else can, in my opinion. Okay, now before we move forward, don't you just love the confidence here? Don't you just love seeing a guy that is so good at scoring goals talking about how he is so good at scoring goals? Humility, of course, is a skill, and we love it when guys are humble. We love it when guys give credit to their teammates. Wayne Gretzky, every time we talk about him and his point records, he'll always say, I played with some really great teammates. For Cole Caufield, it's like, yeah, my shot's good. And I think my shot is better than almost everybody else here in this draft. I can put the puck in places no one else can. Not to say that he's wrong, I think he's absolutely right. But ballsy indeed, these quotes are when it comes to Caufield assessing his own game from 2019. He also says, I try to find spots in the offensive zone that not many people can. I'm not the biggest guy, but I feel my shot and release are pretty elite. I don't mean this in a cocky way, but I feel I'm the best goal scorer in the draft. Boom shakalaka, baby. If you go over to the 2019 draft, let's talk about guys who have been taken in this crop of players and sort the entire class by goals. You'll see that Cole Caufield is right there underneath Jack Hughes for goals of the class. Now, the games played is the biggest difference there. Jack Hughes has 87 goals in 244 games. Cole Caufield has 53 goals in 123 games. Do the math. Caufield is a better goal scorer based off of the goal per game number. But of course, I mean, there is some credit to be had with Jack Hughes and the amount of gosh darn assists the guy has. He almost has 100 more assists than Cole Caufield does. But Cole Caufield wasn't talking about his playmaking in that quote, now wasn't he? This really does align with the opinions that I held back in this time frame, because if you watch a lot of the videos that we made on the channel in 2019, I was saying that Caufield probably is the guy who is the best goal scorer in this draft. I personally said that Arthur Kaliev had the better shot because I felt that Kaliev's shot was harder, it was quicker, it was more of a bomb. Cole Caufield was a more accurate shooter, and He was more of a player that put himself in better positions to use his shot in more dangerous ways. Not necessarily the shot being better than Kaliev's itself, but more so the overall body of goal scoring. You know, not every goal is a pinpoint accurate snipe on the rush. Sometimes you tip it in, sometimes you're the guy in front on the back door, sometimes you're the rebound guy, sometimes you get the puck on a loose end, very broken play, and you put it into the open cage. Not every goal is a snipe. So for Kaliev, while I did say he had the better shot, I did think that Caufield had the better goal-scoring instincts, and that's kind of why I said he was the best goal scorer in the draft, in my opinion, back in 2019. And Caufield is going out there, basically, in his assessment of his game in 2019, saying the same thing. And for the most part, Caufield was 100% right in the way that he talked about his play. I mean, of course, he's talking mostly about shot and how he puts the puck in places where nobody else can, and he's accurate with it, he can find the back of the net, he can beat goalies, whatever. We all know that's the case now. Like, we've seen enough of this guy at the NHL level, albeit in a small sample size, and in the NCAA, to know that he absolutely can just put the puck in a corner where nobody else can. We know that his goal-scoring instincts are elite. He's always in the right place. He's always creating opportunities for himself with where he places himself on the ice, and the way he's able to fire the puck on goal is unmatched. And so, for all the things that he had said about himself back in this time frame, yeah, I'm going to go out there and agree. In fact, in the comment section of this Habs post, you had yourselves an article written by Corey Pronman. He was a big believer in Cole Caufield, ranking him 5th on his draft board in 2019. And one of the replies here says, yeah, this is Corey Pronman's hot take on Cole Caufield. You're going to be shocked by the assertion that I believe a 72 goal scorer has a pretty good shot. And when it comes to the other scouting reports, I mean, this is what the Elite Prospects report goes out there and says. It's been a long time since we've actually read this here on the channel, so let's go ahead and do that. Cole Caufield, according to Elite Prospects in 2019, is a game-breaking goal scorer that, despite his diminutive frame, thrives under pressure and is difficult to contain. Defensively, he is uncomfortable having the puck on his own end for long, and he'll make the extra effort to pressure around the blue line and take away cross-ice options. Upon procuring puck possession, though, he'll be the first to explode up ice in transition. The hallmark of his game is his exceptional goal-scoring ability. He has a shot that absolutely leaps off the stick with pinpoint accuracy when he lets loose, and a low center of gravity that facilitates fast and flashy puck handling at pace. He affords his line mates options by taking advantage of any allotted attention he garners, generating time and space by drawing guys in. He's perpetually hard to play against. All in all, Cole Caufield is an electrifying goal-scoring machine who makes some of the most otherworldly plays look like child's play. All we gotta do now is wait for Martin St. Louis to pull off his magic and for Caufield to stay healthy enough to get an 82-game season under his belt. In retrospect, everything we had heard about this guy, everything he said about himself, it is nothing more than correct. It's just, back in 2019, 4 years ago, oh, how are we going to take this guy? He's 5'7", he's so small, he's not going to be able to score, he's just going to be pushed around. But nah, it's been a few years. He even went to the gosh darn Stanley Cup Finals and he looked like he belonged as a rookie. Cole Caufield has been phenomenal. And this is another one of these videos where we just kind of laugh at other teams because they didn't take him. He slipped all the way to 15 when Corey Pronman had him at number 5. I personally had him in my top 5 as well, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Caufield is a good player. I still would have wanted him for the Vancouver Canucks because I wanted to see Caufield and Pettersson do their thing together, but yeah, you can't always get what you want. At least it was with my second favorite team, though. Montreal's my second favorite team, if you didn't already know that, so good to see Cole Caufield thriving and getting the love and attention he deserves from the Habs fanbase. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the way Cole Caufield analyzed his own game back in 2019? He said himself he feels he was the best goal scorer of the draft. He can put the puck in places no one else can. His shot is accurate, it's fast, it's velocity filled, all this other good stuff. Words that he didn't really use, but I'm paraphrasing here, so there you go. What are your thoughts on the way Cole Caufield talks about his game? Do you think he was right, wrong, or do you think he was underselling it a little bit? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.